Hey everybody, Fernando here. I'm excited to be chatting with a friend today. His name is Scott Conrad, the founder of Yogi Board. And when I met Scott, I um, I tried the Yogi Board, and the way he showed it to me, the way he was explaining the frequency of not only sound but also yoga, I was blown away. And maybe like a couple of years later, finally I get to sit down with him and have this chat. So I'm really excited to introduce you to Scott. Scott, welcome.
Hey, what's up, Fernando? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited. It's been a minute since I met you first, and I remember meeting you for the first time at the template, and you doing the demo there, and I was like, man, this thing's gonna go places. Like you're gonna go places with this invention. So tell us a little bit about the Yogi board.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I was trying to remember the first time. I know we met a couple times early on. I thought it might have been the grass park, but that's right. The
That was
template.
after, yeah, the church
Yeah.
music was after the
So
template.
that was when Jesus was playing music at the template.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I need to start going back there on Sundays. It's nice to just like sit on the yogi board and vibe out to Jesus. It's really nice.
Yeah,
But
if you guys don't know Jesus, he's next level, like angel voice.
yeah, for sure. That guy's something special. But yeah, well, thanks for the intro. And yeah, I'll give you guys a little rundown of how the Yogi board came to be. So Fernando mentioned some the healing frequencies. That's the I have three models of the Yogi board, and my top tier model is called the Nirvana, a vibra healing unit. And I didn't actually create that until almost a year after I created the first model, which is called the minimalist model, and it's a stripped down version, and it's just used for yoga. If you have carpet in your house and you want to simulate a yoga studio floor feeling. So, um, yeah, I've been dabbling in yoga since my early 20s. I actually went to my first yoga class when I was probably 21 or 22. I'm 38 now, and I actually went to meet girls because I always saw pretty girls going to the yoga classes. I'm like, oh, that looks like a good spot to meet girls. And I went to the first class in Pacific Beach, and it was a hot yoga class at Core Power. And after the hour, I was just like amazed how good I felt. Just sweat all the toxins out, and just feeling blissful. And I realized then it was, not about meeting girls, and it was so quiet in there anyways, you couldn't even talk to them. So I was like, oh, I get it now. I really never stretched growing up. I was always really athletic, but I grew up in Texas. So definitely yoga, even stretching, 20 years ago, people didn't think that was as important as it really is. So coming from my background, doing the first yoga class in my early 20s, started getting into it, and then I I took breaks and got back into it, and not until I invented the yogi board, probably like almost a little over 4 years ago now, I had the idea. So I was skating by a local yoga studio 2 blocks from my house, just going to check the waves. And there was this yoga teacher outside of the studio. Her name's Fallon Lev. She's an amazing yoga teacher. And I took her class every month or two over a 6 month period. And I would just do drop ins. I never really could afford, a full yoga membership. They're generally around a couple $100 a month. So I would just go in there occasionally. And it had been months since I had gone in there. And I skated by, and Fallon, my favorite teacher at the time, she's like, "Hey, where you been at? Haven't seen you in a little while." Because I always went to her class at the same time, same day when I went. And I was just like, yeah, I just can't really afford a membership right now. I've been trying to practice more at home, just YouTube videos, just trying to get it in. And I don't know how it came up, but she found out I was practicing on carpet. And so uh, she just told me practicing on carpet is not good for your joints. You can't get as deep into poses. And if you're really trying to deepen your practice and your breath, like because the breath allows you to get deeper into your poses, you really need to be practicing on something stable. So that's why yoga studios all have firm floors, not carpeted floors. So I didn't think much of it, but I listened to her and continued skating on, checked the waves. I don't know if I went surfing or not, but later that day, I did a YouTube video and I was like, um, I'm gonna try and find something stable to put under my mat, see what Fallon's talking about. So uh, I graduated with a painting degree from San Diego State, and I preferred painting on um, birch plywood as opposed to canvases because I don't know if you're familiar, like painting canvases have little divots in there. So
Mm,
when you brush, like it's kind of tricky. A lot of people coat it first with gesso and it kind of fills in some of the divots,
mm,
but I just like the smooth surface to paint on. So I would use birch plywood and sand it down so it's really smooth. And I just had multiple paintings I had done over the years on my wall under my bed. So I found three paintings that were square, rectangle type shape that fit right under my yoga mat, and they were 3/4 inch thick. They're pretty bulky, but yeah, the three of them fit perfectly under my yoga mat. And I
mm,
did the YouTube video, and I quickly realized that she wasn't lying. Like all the poses I could get deeper into. The balance poses were easier. I felt more grounded. Just all around, it was a lot better than practicing on the carpet. So I didn't think much of it right then. I was like, this is cool. I'm gonna, you know, keep on practicing with this under my mat. And
mm,
then it kind of got annoying. They kind of shifted around, and then I flipped them over so I could tape them together because I didn't want to put tape on the paint, like the side with the paint on there. And I did that for a couple months, and I was like, I just need to like attach them some way. So I just I don't want to ruin my paintings, and I just want it to be an easier setup. So I went to Home Depot, just bought some hinges, and I got some wood cut there. And I, as I was putting them together, still not thinking I was like really inventing anything, but I I put them together with the hinges, and I realized it folded. Like I was kind of hoping it would fold, but like it folded really nicely. And when I just put it down, I realized it was a chair. So if you guys didn't know, I'm sitting on a yogi board right now. So
mm.
uh,
Cool.
it folds, and then super comfy chair. And until you sit in it, you really don't realize how comfortable it is. And
Mm,
then it's like a ergonomic feeling, and you can like lean it back or lean it forward. So
mm,
once I realized it was a chair and it folded and you could slide under your couch or wherever, I was like, this is like an invention. I just invented something. This is super
mm.
cool.
Right.
So I got really stoked, and the girl, whoa, my guitar case just fell down. But
Hey, man, get the guitar out.
yeah, but so I started dating this girl that was a yoga instructor at this time, and she moved in and she loved practicing on it as opposed to the carpet. And uh, she's like, "Yeah, this is really something. Like people would get this." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking so too." So I started doing tweaks, different prototypes, different hinges because the initial hinges I used were really weak, and there's 1,000 hinges out there. So
Mm,
um, I was just prototyping, messing around, and then planning on getting it patented and selling it in the future. And then yeah, so that was the minimalist model. I didn't call it that at the time because that was my only model.
mm,
And it wasn't even called the Yogi board yet. I still was thinking in names. And at that time, I was well, had already got into like the Wim Hof breath work.
mm,
And I bought his little course and I did it for a few months. And I was just realizing the benefits of breath work. And yeah, I was having a really good time with it. And um, one YouTube video after I completed his course, I was just trying to find more videos from him. Somebody actually just ripped off his audio and was using healing frequencies behind his voice. So
mm,
the YouTube video was just one picture with a timer for breath holds, and then it had his voice narrating the whole thing. And
mm,
then there was like healing frequencies they put in the audio layered behind his voice.
mm,
So I really liked listening to Wim's voice while I was doing the breath work. It really gets you pumped and makes you breathe deeper and harder. But when you do that breath work, your breath is so loud, you really can't hear anything that far away. So I was having trouble hearing his voice. So I put my Bluetooth speaker, I had a big Bose one, about that big, under the headrest. So like I do this breath work laying down.
mhm,
So I put the speaker under the headrest
mhm,
and was doing the breath work laying down. And
mhm,
those healing frequencies layered under his voice, especially during the breath holds, breath retention, just resonated throughout the wood, throughout the board.
mm,
And I I had never reached such heights in my breath work or breath holds. It was a really, really blissful feeling, almost like psychedelic. A lot of people say they have like similar experiences to they've done psychedelics or really, deep meditations where you reach different spiritual heights. So after that session, it was just it dawned on me that uh, this yogi board minimalist model that I invented could potentially be like a portable and wireless sound healing bed. So
mm,
I've been playing music for 10 years, but I never really dove that deep into the sound healing realm. But after this experience, I was like, I already thought I had a cool invention, but then
mm,
I just started thinking of what it could be. And so I made 4 or 5 more prototypes. And then eventually I perfected it. And then I got it patent pending. And yeah, it's been a few years now. I'm still waiting on the patent to come through. It's backlogged. Um, it's really tricky to get stuff patented right now. But yeah, ever since I finished the Vibra sound model, I learned a lot more about sound theory, frequencies, and I actually started teaching breath work with frequency infused breath work, I call it now, where I integrate frequencies digitally with live music and playlist. And I've been doing that for over 2 years now. And uh, kind of accidentally fell into that. I didn't think I was going to be a breathwork teacher or quote unquote sound healer or any of that. But once I realized after inventing the yogi board that this was my dharma, my true path, that I'm just surrendering, and whatever happens in this path that feels right, I'm going to go with. And that's what I've been doing. So that's kind of the evolution. I started with just the yoga surface, and then it eventually turned into the portable and wireless sound healing unit. And then you can still get the version that is just the yoga surface without the yoga mat. And then I have a version with the yoga mat epoxy to the surface with no sound. And then the Nirvana model uh, is the completely tricked out version with the speaker right here. This goes
Yeah.
into multiple spots right here. So this is one. You could just slide it in there and
Yeah.
hook it up to your phone, and it resonates throughout the board. So we
Yeah.
could talk more about that later, but that's basically the evolution of the Yogi board. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And the one that I experienced, I think it had two or three of those sound pockets. Do you remember? This was about 2 years ago, but I
yeah. So
remember. Mhm.
so this board has six. So
Okay. Wow.
one, two, three, four, five, six. So depending on if you're laying down or seated, whichever energy center or chakra you want to work on, you put that speaker directly behind it, and then you put the frequency on your cell phone. And then for people that like most people don't know a lot about sound, I uh, I have this, so it's every musical note, the chakra,
Oh,
and
cool.
the
And for the folks
frequencies.
that will be listening only and not seeing, so can you describe that, the board is what the board is like, dimensions? Because it folds into three pieces, right? So it's three pieces, and each of the piece has two slots for Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah, so it's exactly the size of the yoga mat when it's all folded out, and it's three symmetrical squares. So it's about each square is about 24 inches by 24 inches, and yeah, it folds up into 24 by 24. And like I said, you can fold it out into a seat. It has handles so you can carry it. And then the speaker is smaller than an iPhone, has a yoga mat backing, and you can put it interchangeably in any six slots depending on which energy center or chakra you want to work on. And you can not only do frequencies, you can play music from any platform like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and you can layer, like I was saying with a Wim Hof, had the frequencies layered behind his voice. You
Mm.
can like pick a guided meditation video on YouTube,
Mhm.
say like 528 heart chakra, and then you can put on your frequency app 528 hertz, but octaves lower, so you get more vibration.
Mm.
That would be 132 hertz. So a cool thing I'll explain real quick. An octave is half a wavelength. So 528 hertz is around a C note. It's not, all these frequencies are within the 432 hertz tuning system. It's the Eastern tuning system. The Western is a 440 hertz. So um, to break that down to layman's terms or whatever, uh, like 440 hertz, which is an A, it would sound like this. A. And if you divide that by two, 440 divided by two is what? 220?
Yep.
All right. So that would be one octave lower. So instead of A, it would be A. And
Mm.
then if you divide that another time, which is two octaves down from 440, it would be 220 and then 110. So 440 is A, 220 would be A, and 110 would be A.
Mm.
So they're all A, but the lower the octave, the more vibrational feeling you're going to get from it. And so you're going to feel the A instead of the whole room hearing. So when you're like, I take this to yoga classes outdoors a lot, and then during Savasana or the practice, I'll have it vibrating, but nobody besides me knows it's going on because I have it at that low octave. So it's vibrating me and my chakras, but it's not disturbing anybody. So it's really cool. Like a lot of people do sound healing with headphones on, but imagine you're trying to do a root chakra healing, grounding. If you're wearing headphones, that is 2 feet away from your root chakra, and then there's your third eye, throat, heart, sacral, like there's multiple chakras in between those headphones delivering the frequency and the actual chakra you're trying to work on. So when you put the speaker under your butt, under your tailbone, where your root chakra is at the base of your spine, it's directly in relation to it. So it's direct chakra healing. So there's, I think that's the only way to do it because it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. Like trying to do root chakra healing through headphones, you know, after you
Yeah.
feel direct chakra healing resonance and that close proximity, it just makes sense. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And when I experienced it, it felt not only where the speaker was, but in the entire body because it was vibrating to the entire board.
Do you
Is
remember if it was it your root chakra or more behind your heart chakra?
I think we did all I think you had three at a time, three spots. We tried all three a little bit for
Oh, you're
because
talking about multiple speakers?
yeah, I think you had two that time,
Yeah.
and
So
then I
yeah,
remember
you can put
removing. Mhm.
you can put multiple speakers in. You just have to have a device dedicated to that speaker. So
Yeah,
if you have like a phone and an iPad, the phone can control the one under your root chakra, and the iPad can control the one under your heart chakra.
yeah,
And so you can put the same frequencies, like 132 and 132, and it creates a more immersive, or you could do headphones.
yeah.
Or if you differ the frequencies like 132 and 135, you start getting pulses like woo, woo, woo. So
Mm,
generally, I just use one speaker, but for demo purposes, uh, I do two speakers sometimes because people just get more of a sensation, and it's just like um, yeah, more of an experience the more speakers you use, but all you need is one
yeah.
for sure.
Fantastic. Can you talk a little bit about the what has happened to you as you got deeper into breath work and sound healing? What kind of, what has happened to you as a result? And then the next question would be, what has happened to some of your students or clients?
Yeah, good question. It's um, there's like two parts to that. So the first part, I definitely uh, learned how to regulate emotions more. So if I'm feeling um, fatigued, lackadaisical, not high vibe, I know how to bring myself up um, through various techniques, or on the opposite end, if I'm like too monkey mind or too high vibe and it's later at night and I need to get some rest, I know how to down regulate and calm myself down. So different types of breath work, like the Wim Hof, is better in the morning because it brings you up. It heals you inside and out. Like the oxygen during the breath work translates from your red blood cells to all the other cells and glands in your body and your brain, which are most of the time oxygen deprived. So um, that breath work gets you going. It's better to do in the morning, and then at night when you want to chill out, there's different techniques like the alternate nostril breathing, or just breathing slowly through your nose, very like probably 10 to 15 seconds in, 10 to 15 seconds out. Just a few minutes of that, you can lower your heart rate greatly and calm down. And then I could talk a really long time about all the benefits, but then at the same time, uh, it just like anything good for you, it's hard to make yourself do. I'm sure you've heard before, like, um, it's so hard for me to get to the gym or the yoga class, but when I leave, I'm so glad, feel so good. And it's the same with me. Although I invented this thing, I don't use it near like as much as I should. I use it quite a bit, but it's funny. Like if I get in a funk or something, I'm like, I invented this thing that could literally fix me in a matter of minutes. But just to make yourself get on it and do it is like half the battle. So I still struggle with that. I think I will forever. I really respect super disciplined people that wake up every day at 6, meditate for 30 minutes, do yoga for an hour. Like I aspire to one day get there, but although this is my business and I invented this thing, I have a kid. I live half block from the beach, so got to pay rent, got to feed the kids. So I work another job and simultaneously simultaneously with having a kid, another job, and a business, time is very limited. So, and sleep schedule is all out of whack. I mostly work nights, so it's really hard for me to get my circadian rhythm dialed in to be able to wake up at that time and do that. So,
Mm.
I have all the knowledge of what to do to make
Mm.
yourself completely like like just honed in every way. But right now, at my point in life, I'm just going with the flow. I'm like, I can't wake up this time every day and do this and this. But then there's other things I could do to, uh, keep it from getting too crazy. So yeah, like you said, it's a long-winded answer, but it's the breath work. Has definitely made my life better physiologically, biologically, mentally in so many ways. But then in other ways, like tie that into awareness. Like, so it makes you more aware, even if you're not doing the thing, you know what you should be doing. So it's um, breath work is tied into the yoga too. So, and singing and music. So yoga means unity, body, mind, and soul. So that with the yogi board, you can like do more physical yoga, asanas, more breath work, more meditation. So for people who think they don't have the time for all of this, uh, this is kind of a one-stop shop for all your wellness needs, and it will make you do more of all these things because like I was saying, it's hard to do all these things every day. But if you have a one-stop shop where you can bust it all out in one place, you're more likely to do more of these wellness things.
Fantastic. What has been something that surprised you that people have said to you after they experience the yogi board or after they've used it for a few times? What's something that, things that you hear a lot, or perhaps some things that, you didn't expect?
Cool, cool. Well, thanks for reminding me. Like I forgot the second part of that question, but uh, so there's so many are coming to mind. The first one that comes to mind, um, especially the heart chakra, is the biggest energy center and in your whole body, and it's where your upper three chakras and lower three chakras meet. And I'll just keep using the 132 hertz, although there's like so many frequencies you can use in that. But the heart chakra, like I said, is the most powerful. And so when I put the speaker right here and put it on 132 hertz, um, this one girl said she felt like a sunflower was blooming out of her chest. So that was a really cool thing. And they're just like, especially people that have never tried a sound healing bed or um, any sound therapy, uh, when they feel their heart chakra resonating at the frequency that it should be resonating. So, say you're kind of low vibe and you put 132 hertz here, it'll bring your frequency to match that. So, if you're feeling kind of low, it automatically brings it up. And then when you vocal tone match, uh, so that's like if you're ohming, like which is a 136.1 hertz. If you match whatever frequency is coming out of the speaker, it elevates that experience. It brings your whole uh, awareness deeper into that frequency. So that's what people are feeling when she said that she felt like her heart was blooming like a sunflower. That only occurred because she was probably vibing low and it brought it up and she was feeling it just open up. And then just this past week, I was doing a breathwork class, and this guy, he after the Savasana, I asked anybody if they had anything cool they wanted to share, and he had some kind of knot back in his back that he said he had for multiple years. And I need to hit him up to see how it's doing now, but he said it was gone. And he was like, it's been there for like 3 or 4 years and it's like, it's gone now. So that was really cool. I've heard multiple things like that. So if like when you do breath work or sound therapy and you focus on a spot and send the breath, which is healing to that, um, it will break it down or clear it. And most of the time, it happens over multiple sessions, multiple days, focusing on that thing. But every now and then, like this guy said, just one session, it was gone. So I would really like to get back to you and see. This is a week later, see how it's doing. But yeah, so that's some like physical things, and then other people, most people, especially during the breath holds, uh, see it's called synesthesia. So it's every color has a sound. So when you're experiencing that frequency, we'll go back to the heart chakra, 132 hertz. The color of that frequency is green. So the more you're tuned in to the frequency, and especially with your eyes closed, you might start seeing the color of that sound or chakra or frequency, and or the pattern, every frequency. Another thing is called cymatics. I don't know if you've ever seen the videos of a water molecule or sand getting manipulated by frequencies, creates perfect sacred geometry shapes that are repeatable. So if you
Yeah.
put on a certain frequency, you'll create this perfect shape every time. But if it's not the right correct frequency, it's just a jumbled mess. So that's like uh, and that is in a two-dimensional space. Besides the water droplet, that's three-dimensional. But with your eyes closed, not only could you see maybe the color, but also the shape of the sound. And it's a really cool feeling. Like talking about it's kind of obscure, but when you are experiencing it, it's not only beautiful, but it's healing at the same time. And you just tune into everything more. Like, I don't know if you could read it, but one of my slogans is tune in to yourself. And then the long version of that is tune into yourself so you can tune into everything else around you easier. Because if you're not tuned in, you really don't know what's going on. If you are tuned in more to yourself, then you can handle every situation in your life better because you're coming from a place that's more calm, grounded, and logical. And so, yeah, just like meditation, yoga, all helps you tune into yourself. This is just a tool for people who need a little help in the beginning, or for people that have been practicing for a long time that have gotten a little stale and want to spice things up. Uh, so yeah, it's cool with hearing all the new things people experience all the time, but those are just a couple that came to mind.
Man, that's wonderful. And yeah, I'm just thinking here the amount also of work or results that have happened that people haven't, even shared with you or um, and so thank you for doing the work and bringing this to people and tuning into yourself and it's amazing how inventions can come about, and your story is fascinating how one comment from a teacher you know got you to connect to a skill that you had, and then now we have this beautiful yogi board, which I believe for everyone watching, listening, get one if you can, because it's truly remarkable. Plus, there's so many other things. Perhaps we can have a part two and talk more of the uses. It's a portable device that you can take with you anywhere. So, any last words, Scott, that you like to leave to the listeners, viewers, when it comes to things that you have developed your way of living, in being in proximity to water, to the ocean, now with breath, air, and now sound. It sounds so holistic and integrative to me. So, any last words you like to leave to the folks here today?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is just find your purpose. Because before I invented this, I I really didn't have a purpose. I joined the Navy when I was younger for SEAL training. I thought that was my purpose, but it wasn't. But it moved me out from Texas to California. And then after I got out of the Navy, I was still no purpose, but I knew like it would come one day. I got brain surgery for a skateboarding accident, and then that I got really close to dying, near death experience. And so after I came back from that, I'm like, I don't care if it takes me till I'm 99 years old. I'm not gonna settle for a normal job or whatever. I know if yoga helped a lot with this too. I know like one day something will come into my life and I'll know that's what I'm meant to do. So, like I'm almost crying because when I talk about this, it was like the moment where I received my purpose. Uh, so when I invented this and I realized it was a culmination of all my craft skills, art skills, everything that I've done in my life, it's I wouldn't have been able to create this if I didn't live all that. So I realized this was my true dharma, and it's been very difficult doing all this myself, but I don't care because I know it's what I'm going to do for forever. And so if you don't have a purpose yet, just tune into yourself and do the most work you can do on yourself. And um, eventually it will be revealed to you. And don't be afraid to change. Say you're doing something for 5 years and you think it's your purpose and it's not going anywhere. Like, don't be afraid to completely switch lanes or whatever, as long as it feels true to you. But at that, on the same token, if you've been going for 5 years and it's not working yet, and it does feel like it's your true purpose, power through. So basically, uh, don't give up if it feels like it's meant to be, but don't be scared to change if you have a new realization. And yeah, having a yogi board will help you tune into yourself a little more. So yeah.
Mm. Wow. Thank you, brother. You got me teary. I hear. Thank you for doing the work. For yeah, and being here and sharing your story. I think this will inspire many people. Life purpose is one of those topics that are really near and dear to my heart. That it can be just like how you said it. Don't give up and be okay with change at the same time. So combination there of persistence and adaptability or humility even. So thank you. Send you much love. Looking forward to doing this again. We can go a little deeper perhaps into the life purpose conversations. So because I believe more and more people could use that and how you had yours and talk a little bit about, what you went through with the accident and all of that.
Right on. Yeah, thanks for having me on. And yeah, I would love to do it again. This went by super fast, but yeah, I would be down to do another one in the future and dive a little deeper.
Sounds good. For everyone watching, listening, tune into yourself so you can tune into everything around you. My name is Fernando. Till next time. Bye for now.